Thanks.
Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We are at the Cloud Expo 2011 in Santa Clara, California. On our program is Nand Mulchandani. He's the CEO and co-founder of Scalextreme. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Great, thank you.
So tell me about Scalextreme. What do you guys do?
So Scalextreme is one of the first cloud-based systems management companies out there. And so we focus on managing servers wherever they may be, inside the enterprise, in the public cloud, on a hosted solution, even a physical machine. And one of the really cool things about Scalextreme is our ability to federate multiple clouds and multiple data centers all into one single view for customers.
So in terms of the customer problems you solve, what would you say those are, if you could list them?
Well, I mean, the basic one that has actually always been there is admins are now pressured to manage more and more servers, right? So the average ratio in the old days used to be 1 admin to 5 servers. Now it's getting to 1 admin to 500 servers. So the only way to bridge this gap is automation. And in the old days, you had products like BMC, BladeLogic, and Opsware, and HP, and IBM managing on-premise machines. But the problem is now with the cloud, the IT admin and the systems manager has servers scattered all over the place. Amazon, Rackspace, internal cloud, hosted. And so how do they get a single product that gives them a way of automating and gaining control over all these servers, patching them, automating them, auditing them, configuring them, setting them up, building them? These are big problems. And our focus is on giving them a cloud-based way, hosted solution, nothing to install locally, get up and running in 15 minutes, and manage all your servers through one single pane of glass.
Now, does your management include virtualization?
Oh, absolutely. So one of the core tenets is a machine regardless of whether it's running on VMware or EC2. So most solutions today, and sort of the discontinuity in the market, is most solutions today have very specific ways of managing servers for virtualization and public cloud that are different. The customer, though, doesn't view it that way. The customer is buying capacity or delivering capacity off their VMware deployment, their Xen deployment, and their EC2 deployment. The machine running on each of these systems is the same operating system. It's the same machine. So why is it that you have to manage a Linux machine running on your VMware cluster and a Linux machine running on your EC2 cluster differently? In our system, we have some very unique technology that allows us to manage a Linux or a Windows box inside your enterprise almost exactly the same way as you would manage it on EC2. And that's really, when people see it and people sort of get the experience of handling a Linux machine here and a Linux machine here the same way, it's absolutely eye-opening for them.
So in terms of the competitive environment, what do you see out there?
Well, the traditional vendors, the ones that I talked about, the BMCs, the IBMs, the HPs, the CAs, are kind of the older generation of products which dominate the market, but that's really just for the private cloud. So they're one source of competition for us because many customers have to deal with those products and companies. In the newer generation of products on the public cloud, we see people like RightScale, people like OpsCode, Puppet Labs, and a number of other sort of open source or cloud-based systems that do some of the aspects of kind of what we're doing. Our focus is on providing the end-to-end lifecycle management as opposed to just launching machines. So that's our big difference. And we feel that offering a complete solution to a customer goes all the way from building a machine to managing it in its life cycle is really where things are going to be.
Now, are there any specific size companies or sectors of the market that seem to be more open to working with you?
Oh, absolutely. It's a great question. The way the systems management market is configured, there's a low end of the market, which is typically dominated by desktop providers, systems management providers, and the high end with the vendors that I mentioned. The middle end of the market, the commercial enterprises, small, medium-sized businesses, even enterprises with departments or divisions or data centers outside the US or outside the main data center, those are absolutely our target customers. And our focus is on kind of the mid-market, and then over time, obviously, we're getting a lot of interest from the high end of the market as well.
So what's next?
Well, I think one of the things is we just launched our product about 2 months ago. We have a very, very interesting, aggressive roadmap over the next couple of months around federating multiple clouds, more things around lifecycle, templatizing, something we're starting to call dynamic server assembly. So there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff that we're doing, as well as obviously just seeing and working very closely with the cloud vendors themselves. So We're spending a lot of time with the public cloud vendors, seeing kind of how their roadmaps evolve. One of the trends we're seeing that I don't think we're seeing, is in production right now, but we think 6 months, a year is coming down the road, is a lot of customers moving private cloud machines over to the public cloud. And obviously there have been issues around security, SLAs, just connectivity, things like that. And we think management is a key area which has been missing in the public cloud so far, which has hindered a lot of moving sort of existing workloads to the public cloud. So we think the next 6 months and a year is all about baby steps towards moving those machines and workloads over there. And we think we have a very crucial role to play there.
So is it analogous to say that something like a Tivoli that IBM acquired did for networking, kind of like what you're doing for cloud? Is that how you look at things?
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, I think it's a great question. Tivoli is an on-premise, very, very hard to deploy product on-premise. So if you buy Tivoli, you're buying it for thousands of dollars per server. You're having professional services from IBM to go deploy it in 6 months. But the vision of the cloud is totally different. People want instant on, instant compute capacity, and instant management capacity. So if you go to a customer and say, you know what, turn on your machine in 5 seconds, but we're going to take 6 months to deploy an agent on it to manage it, that's completely, doesn't make sense. So what we're doing is aligning the compute layer with the management layer for the first time. So Tivoli, in some sense, is great for the old style physical machine model where people were deploying, a physical machine and the thing never moved. It never, it ran for 5 years and then dropped dead. In the new world of VMware and the new world of public cloud, you need something fast. You need to scale fast, you need elastic capacity, both for your compute layer and your management layer. So we think and style ourselves as the next generation Tivoli or the next generation BMC or the next generation CA, built for a world where you're not going to get rid of your private cloud, but you're going to start augmenting and delivering public cloud.
So we could coin a new term here. You're working cloud time, right? We used to say internet time.
I love that.
12 years ago, but
I love that. I
time.
think we've coined a new term. It's cloud time.
Thanks for being here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.